Welcome, race fans, to Pitside Live here at Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa. I'm joined here with Evan Baldwin and Cole Hendrickson. I'm Cliff Baldwin, and I tell you what, folks, if you're not on your way here, you better start thinking about it, because this is going to be one awesome night. This is SLMR night. It's the Karen and Gail Hample Memorial Night. One of those nights we all look forward to, and I tell you what, folks, we have a line out there waiting to get in already. It looks great out there. And talk about beautiful weather. This is tremendous. 80-degree, no humidity. I tell you what, Mother Nature looked over us tonight, because this is going to be an awesome night, guys, and one to look forward to.
We were scared all week. We didn't know what to think. We ended up getting, a couple inches of rain there on Thursday, and we were like, man, I don't know if it's going to happen. And then it was so humid yesterday, it didn't really dry out a lot. And then finally, we missed the rain that we were supposed to get last night, and we got down here early in the morning and opened it up, and it ended up being
it's perfect.
Ended up being perfect. So we got lucky, Cole. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there was a lot of rain. I definitely lost a little hope too there when I was at work and I saw how much it was raining. But when I got off, I came down here. There was a little bit of sun that poked through there later in the afternoon, and I came down here, and the top side was dry. Obviously the bottom was a little wet, but I figured as long as we didn't get that second cell that came through, I thought we were going to be racing. So got really lucky, and like you said, there is a long line almost out to the road now to get in. So fans are excited.
We knew as a track prep crew, and we knew as a racetrack that we had to do everything that we could to race this weekend. We got way too much stuff going on. We're inducting Steve Kaziski and Ed Morris into the Hall of Fame tonight. We've got a Junior Speedsters rap contest unveiled tonight. We're also doing 50-50 tonight for a good cause. So it's a big night. Got a lot of stuff going on. Just super excited that the Malvern Bank West Series can come back here to their home track now that I-80's closed. So it's good to have late models back here. A lot of rich history of late model racing here at the Speedway. And you're going to see a lot of fans down here that have watched late models over the years, and that's kind of what brings fans back to this place is late model racing, because it's what this track is known for. Like I said, it was one of the original classes that raced here. We were one of the last tracks in the area to race super late models weekly before we got rid of them back in the late 2010s. So it just shows the fan base that we have here, that they love their late model racing, and it's kind of old-fashioned late model racing, being back at an old half-mile racetrack. So should be a good night. Good to see Anthony and all of them here, and we're going to have fun tonight for sure.
So quickly, did you mention the Junior Speedsters unraveling? Yep. Okay, so also shout out, hopefully people have been paying attention to Facebook, but all those kids that did the drawings, we're hoping you're going to show up tonight. We want you here quickly as possible. We're going to have you guys here for the unveiling of the winner. We'll have you all out there on the front stretch track, and it's going to be a neat deal, and very much looking forward to doing that. But if you're here, we'll give you your color. We want you to hold up your drawing, and we're going to go out there and celebrate that, and we'll unveil that. It's been a big surprise. Very happy with what we've picked. There was a lot of good entries.
Yeah, so there was a lot to choose from. It came down to 4, obviously, that we had to vote on. Man, it was tough.
It was tough.
It was
really very
tough.
I liked them all. I really did, but we had to pick one, and I know the driver of the car was happy with it too, and you guys, everybody that did it's going to be happy, because they're going to look at the hood of that car and be surprised when they see that too. So I think that's going to be a neat thing too. So looking forward to that. We have a special gift for all those kids too that show up tonight. So we want you all out there at right before we do national anthem tonight, right at 7, right probably at 6:45. We'll have you out there. We'll have you hold up your drawings. We got a special awards prize for you guys. So kicking off our Junior Speedsters to get that thing right, and we'll start having a list here in the future at the table like we used to for the Junior Speedsters, for guys signing up and having a chance to come, and we'll do the give you a chance for pace truck rides and things like that. So Cole, go ahead and take it over for a minute.
Yeah, so along with the SLMR, down here at the Adams County Speedway, we've got the Underdog Designs $2,222 to win modifieds, and let me tell you guys, there is a stacked field expected to be here tonight at the Adams County Speedway. I'm excited. Me and Dre were talking about it. I mean, there is a good chance this might be the most stacked modified field we've seen maybe since the late 2000s. So I am very excited with some of the names I've heard that are showing up. When I was walking in the pits there before the show, I saw Ryan Jenkins is here. Jacob Hobscheit was just pulling in. It is going to be a stacked field, and even a familiar name that used to race down here weekly was John Plowman. He's got his modified down here, so excited to see what he can do. Been a while since we've seen the 17 down here.
Dre's done a really good job with the Underdog 22 recruiting guys all throughout the week. Here the last 2 weeks, been making a lot of phone calls and telling the guys that he can trust.
Tell you what, guys, you hear a little rumble out there? You hear a little rumble? Take a look out that entryway. I tell you what, folks, wish we had vision on this thing. Well, you do, but I'm sorry, we do have our camera here, but I should spin it around here.
No,
for this,
we need a Wi-Fi unit.
We don't need to be messing with. I got this thing set up. Don't touch it.
But anyway, that sweet car is getting ready to pull in here, so looking forward to that. We're going to see that nice Chevelle out there, the 2X of Ed Morris's, who we're going to have on the air here very shortly. So he's here.
Man, that thing sounds crispy.
That thing is.
It was pulled out of the rafters of Quaker Steak and Lube. People that don't know, Ed Morris's son owns Quaker Steak and Lube,
Chris.
and they brought the car out of the rafters and they brought it back to the track. So it's pretty cool tonight to see that car here. So
here comes the rumble. Here it comes, guys. They're pulling it right in the front gate, and they're spreading the wave here. So look at that, baby. Yeah, see, you can hear that. So listen to that thing. Oh yeah, that was the days right there, guys. The old Sportsman. Oh, that baby's sweet.
Look at that seat in there. That is peak safety equipment
there. That's some Dale Earnhardt safety equipment right there.
Yeah.
One seatbelt. Used to be back. There was no 5-point harness back then either. Believe me. A lot of them didn't have 5-point harness back then.
Nobody believed in safety back then.
I remember when they had cars that had a seat belt holding the door shut. I'm not kidding you. Or a belt. You wore around your waist, the leather belt that held the dang door shut. I'm not kidding you. Then they started welding chains around it later on, so that's no kidding. So,
but back to what I was saying though about Dre Hampel. Huge shout out to Dre. He's been doing a really good job, recruiting and talking to guys that he can trust and getting guys down here to the racetrack. Because for the locals down here that know, we're located in the smallest populated county in the state of Iowa, and sometimes it's hard to get guys to come down here because it's a long pull. So. And it's a little bit of an intimidating racetrack too to come and race if you've never raced here before. I mean, racing on a big half mile, it's very intimidating, and I think all these modified guys coming down and giving her a try tonight. So we appreciate all of them for coming down. My plan is after the races, I'm going to go to every single one of them and tell them thank you for coming because we appreciate all the support. Late model guys, same thing. So it's just really cool to see everybody down here again, and we got a lot of faces that I haven't seen in a long time. I saw Paul Glendenning walk by, former track champion here.
Mark Wyman's here.
Late model, Mark Wyman. I'm talking about guys that are racing tonight.
Oh, sorry.
Chris Speaker's back to the track again. He's got a lot of fans here in the stands. Yep. The all-time winningest driver here at ACS is back here, and back in good equipment, too. Chris is back in really competitive stuff now. He's driving that XR1 Rocket, and he's been doing really good. When we went to Stewart there about a month ago, he rattled off his first heat race win in a lot of years. So he's actually really, really competitive again, and it'll be cool to see him back here in something that's solid equipment.
And
so
last time we were here with the SLMR series, I mean, he was competitive. There was some on-track stuff that happened and kind of knocked him out of contention, but he had a lot of speed in that 56, and I know if he could pull off a victory tonight, that would be a very, very popular crowd reaction. So
you're going to see a lot of old-time speaker shirts in the stands tonight, that's for sure. A lot of people pulling them out of the back of the closet, wiping the dust off of them. So.
Well, I was telling them it feels weird seeing new shirts because I'm used to just always seeing those 56 shirts with the woodpecker on the back. I forgot to tell you about that. I saw one walking through the crowd at Iowa, and I tried to chase him down to see who it was, and then I lost him in the crowd. So whoever was wearing a speaker shirt at Iowa Speedway, and there might have been multiple for all I know, but whoever it was, I saw you out there. But
not very good stalker. Huh?
One guy I'm super excited to see that's down here that I am really excited to see race a late model. First time ever here is one of the best wheelman in the country, no matter what car you put him in, is Dylan Thornton. I'm super excited to see him down here. He's a past Super Nationals and a stock car champion. He's a one hell of a modified driver, and now he's in a late model racing under the Kai banner for Kai Racing under a Warrior chassis. So really excited to see what he's going to do around this place. This is probably different than what he's probably ever raced on. This track is so unique. Some of the racetracks that he does run over east on the eastern Iowa, they do have a couple half miles over there, but they're the big sweeping half miles.
Yeah, nothing like
this.
You could almost compare this to almost like a Williams Grove or a, I guess, isn't Algona kind of like our track? You know, long straightaways, very tight corners. So definitely excited. I was talking to him on Snapchat, you know, just earlier this week, trying to get him talked into coming down.
Unfortunately, it sounds like he made it.
Unfortunately, didn't bring the mod, but I think more focus on the late model right now. So, and it takes a big effort to run these late models. So, definitely excited to see what he can do.
We're going to see some different faces in the late models again tonight too. Some guys that haven't raced here in years. I've already seen a couple guys down here. Good to have John Kirby here as well, the 11 car out of the Arkansas area. Runs a lot of Hell Tour stuff, runs a lot of Lucas Oil stuff, travels all over the place. And he was heading back home from Arkansas from a rain out, and he's like, we're on our way back home. Why not make a little quick detour and go race on a Saturday night? So good to have John Kirby here as well. First time he's ever been here. He was very impressed when he first walked in here about the grandstands that we have. He didn't expect this place to be that big. He told me he's used to racing a lot of hole-in-the-wall racetracks, so this is something a little bit different. So I'm just super excited, like I said, Cole, to try to see different guys race here and different. I mean, we know our 10, 15 late model guys that are going to be here every time they race, like the Bill Laytons and the Zeitners and all those guys, like the Tad Pospischel and Kyle Burke and all those guys. But I want to see some new guys here and see what they can do against some of our local guys.
Well, you know my level of excitement. We were talking all week, and I'm like, this show has to happen because just with the way the timing worked out, this field is, besides maybe the stock cars and the sport modifieds, the classes that are racing for big money tonight, this has potential to be stronger than the tradition some years. So, I mean, this is a big show, and I'm so happy that we're getting it.
The Hamples and the Hample family and Greg and John and all of the siblings of Gail and Karen, all three of them, doing a really good job of trying to build this and make this an event. Make it what it needs to be. And what it needs to be is it needs to be the biggest late model race at this racetrack every single year, because these two people, Gail and Karen Hample, this racetrack would not be what it is without those two people, without that family. If that family never came here, this racetrack would not still be here.
No doubt about that.
This needs to be something that is an incredibly emotional event. It needs to be something that means a lot to a lot of the old-time race fans that have been here for years, seeing a lot of old drivers come back. And I feel like this weekend's already kind of ramped up a notch, seeing Ed Morris's 2X already walking in here. That's going to probably bring back a lot of memories for a lot of guys, so that's for sure.
Yeah, I know my dad's excited to see that car down here. So
yeah.
Tell you what, guys, we're going to somehow I'm not hearing myself with a darn, but anyway, hopefully they can hear me. We're going to.
Can you hear yourself now?
I sure can. Boy, we're going to tell Lori here. We're going to go.
All you got to do is tell me what you need, and I'll take care of it.
I don't know why I got turned down. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break because we're going to start off with our Hall of Famer tonight, Ed Morris. We're going to have him on here right after we take a quick break. So, tell you what, Lori, back studio, we'll go ahead and take a commercial break right now, and we'll be right back with you with Pitside Live. I want you to do.
Too busy at work to wait in a long line at Subway? Order online at order.subway.com. Simply register with your email and password and order away. You can also download the Subway app on your smartphone. Order up to 6 subs, salads, or pizza. Ready in 15 minutes once order is submitted. Also add chips, cookies, and drinks easily. And Subway's back to normal hours, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Order online at Subway in Red Oak, Clarinda, Shenandoah. Best Finish Auto Sales and Service is proud of the quality used vehicles they sell and their dedication to serve the needs of their customers. Whether it's your first purchase or one of many that you've had, you can count on their dedicated sales staff to make the best buying experience possible. They also offer financing on your vehicle purchase. Best Finish can also take care of your service needs, from oil change, brakes, alignment, air conditioning to any body shop and repair needs. Stop by Best Finish Auto Sales and Service at 209 Sharp Street in Glenwood for all of your vehicle needs.
What if we could harness the power of the sun by using the earth to transform the way we use energy? Water furnace geothermal systems are simply the most efficient way to keep your family comfortable. Winter or summer, day or night, rain or shine, without burning fossil fuels, giving you the freedom to focus on life.
Call Camlin Mechanical or visit camlinmechanical.com for your water furnace needs today.
Are you interested in starting a career instead of just getting another job? Well, hop on over to Fresco System USA and let us help you find the one for you. We offer competitive wages, benefits starting day one, and so much more. You can pick up an application at 2026 Fernwood Avenue, find us on Indeed, Better Team, and Facebook, or call 712-623-8100, extension 6659. Spring into action and join the Fresco team today.
No matter what your insulation needs are, Heartland Foam Insulators is your go-to company. From removal to blow-in to foam, they are ready to go to work for you in any type of building, whether it be an existing house, new construction, a metal building, commercial building, or a unique project. Call Heartland Foam Insulators today at 712-623-4515 or heartlandfoam.com.
Welcome back, race fans, to Pitside Live here down at County Speedway, and you're joining us here on an awesome night. It's the SLMR night, the Karen and Gail Hample Memorial Race. SLMR, also the Underdog 22 race for the modifieds. We are now joined, it's my pleasure to introduce you to one of the 2024 Hall of Fame inductees, Ed Morris. Ed, welcome.
Hey, guys, thank you. Thank you for having me here tonight. This is so much fun being here and seeing this track again.
And it probably brings back a lot of memories for you. Oh. First thing I told you when you walked up here is I'm only 28 years old, so I didn't get to see you race, but I know the 2X number. I know how much it means to Joe and his family and Bob and all those guys. So just to see the original guy right here that ran it, it's pretty.
He can tell you the story.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we were here for maybe 3 years. We raced here, and Wayne Mason, which is in Nebraska Racing Hall of Fame, and built all those great cars for Steve. Any rate, the car was fun. It's amazing to see the real car here. And I'm still here.
Yeah, and that's even better. It's awesome, yeah. And Tim Cooney is a big part of our Hall of Fame committee and stuff, and I know he's a big part of that 2X car. I do believe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. and I was just looking tonight. That calendar, I rolled it back on Google. Tonight would have been 50 years ago tonight that we won the 9 races straight in a row. Then had problems the next week, come back and finish, and won the rest of them. Won 12.
Yep.
Wow.
12 of 19, right?
Yeah, that would be correct. Yep. 12 and 19. We missed the first 1 or 2 or something.
And that was 74?
74,
right? Yep.
73. We came down. Jim Wyman was he was winning everything when we got here. I think we won maybe 4 features, and it was Jim and I every week. Yep. It was fender to fender, and we never touched each other. Yep. I mean, it was.
And then you won the championship at 74. Mention some of the names you can think of. That's
I see Dusty's name right out front here, and
this stage is
and old speaker. My goodness sakes, Charlie. My gosh, what a character. We had so much fun in the infield after the races.
He was an icon down here to me.
Oh, I know he was. He was like God walking through the pits.
Absolutely correct. And Chris is on our fair board now too, and he's going to be racing tonight too. That's what's awesome too. So, and other names, I know you mentioned is, of course you talked about Wayne, but the guys I grew up watching along with yourself was Wands. Bob raced. Joe was starting out a little bit, but Jerry Wanzowicz,
Yeah, Jerry was here. Terry Holloman. Yep. Rich Lyons, which we lost Rich at Sunset.
Yep.
I got to think about it, but it's,
Oh yeah, it's just, but that's the best part about this. Tim and I, we can, like we had the Hall of Fame last week, official Hall of Fame night, and we do the show, and I tell people I could sit here and talk for 5-6 hours with you guys about nostalgia. You know. It's
well, then one of the things too that somebody that was important here and which the family is today was Al Burdick.
Oh yeah.
He was a fixture here, and
absolutely correct.
So
yeah,
I just
yeah.
Malvern, some of you
Yep.
that don't know, but
Yep, you know, and Jay's a big
oh,
supporter.
I
man.
know.
You know, Jay, I talk about Jay all the time. He's a supporter of this radio show.
He'll be here tonight.
Huge supporter of this racetrack. You know, he helps us out immensely. He's a racer true and a friend.
He sponsors this series.
I
mean,
know he does.
You know,
he,
you got
he does
sign,
it.
The sign right over there, the Dirt Track Bank. That's Jay all the way right there. You know, so that's the cool thing about.
You've got
it.
guys racing down in Florida that I see now that have Dirt Track Bank on their race cars. Jay actually is in business with people that far away. It's just incredible. And he's one guy that will advocate for you anytime, any place. And you know, he's helped a lot of racetracks around here. I can tell you that.
So when was the last time you were here?
Actually, I came and watched Wyman win an A feature maybe 10 years ago. I got here just in time for the A feature and watched it and left, and we were actually outside the gates, and my son was camping down the road a ways, and I couldn't stand it. I could hear it, and we had to come up here, and then I have not been back.
I know I talked to Chris a lot, and he's done some sponsorship with us before, and I always try to drop tickets off for the Daytona stuff they have. But anyway, I know he camps at Carry, and I always tell him, I say, you know, holler at me and get in here. You don't have to be camping all the time. You can always come in on Saturday night and watch and go back out and camp. So we have a lot to do that. You know, we support our lake a lot, so you know that's a neat thing. So got the wind tonight here.
Yeah, we got a little breeze going through here.
And what did I hear tonight? You're going to have over 100 cars maybe here
easily,
tonight?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a long way from our day.
We average about 85 with 5 classes, and we're very happy with that because I know a lot of tracks struggle to do that, and we're very, very happy with that. We have a consistent crowd base. We should have a very good crowd because they come out of the woodwork for these late model
You got
races.
one hell of a racetrack here, and the racers appreciate it. I know we did.
So, I mean, you know, you look at tracks that are shrinking as far as size-wise.
Oh yeah,
you know, and
they remodel them and shorten them up.
I'm a nostalgia guy. I'm a big drum beater, but it's like there's nothing wrong with these half-mile tracks.
I was surprised to see it intact when I walked in here. I thought, oh my goodness, it's the same.
Yep,
it's the same.
It brings back a lot of memories.
Well, you
sure.
just feel like going into one there and setting it up and turning, making that V and come down.
I'm a big supporter of if it ain't broke, why we need to fix it. So I mean, we've been doing this for, you know, consistently since the 70s, or first of the 70s, so it's like 1970, earlier than that, but I mean, that's the big part about this. So I grew up here under the covered grandstands, which is about right where we're standing here, and you know, our Hall of Fame picture here on our I got to you, but that's, you know, it's got the covered grandstand on there. That's the neat thing about it. So, you know, that's the thing. I grew up here, and Karen and Gail Hample memorials tonight, and I know you probably talked to John before, but anyway, this place wouldn't be what it is without that family and the volunteers of this fair board. It's just all this was done with volunteers. That's what I tell people.
Everything that was built here.
So it's just amazing. And
it's fabulous. And again, I want to thank everybody that brought me here tonight and voted for us. And my family's excited, and I'm excited. And
there's a lot of people, Ed, on this Hall of Fame that are all really deserving people, and there's still more out there that are so deserving. But what did it feel to get that phone call?
I was surprised. Who
called you?
Was.
Was it Tim or was it?
I can't remember Tim. I can't remember.
Was it Tim or you?
Tim did.
Okay.
Tim. I got the first call from Tim.
And what was that feeling like to you? I mean,
I was in the garage. I was just kind of stuttering a little bit. I just
you're like, what?
Soak in a little bit. Yeah. No. And really, to have Steve resurrect that car. And all of a sudden, that stuff comes back in your life 50 years later, guys. I mean, think about that a minute. That's crazy.
Tim's got a really cool story about the car, right? About how they found it.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, I remember he talked about it stepping up in the field in the weeds, you know, and always talked about that. So, you know, it's just amazing. But the other thing you don't know, Ed, there's this building right here. You just look right over here, the little red building right here, right there. That's our future Hall of Fame building. So
Oh,
we
is
are in
it?
the process. Tim and I are the ones that are working on it. So, but that's going to be a nice air conditioned. That's going to be our Hall of Fame right there. So we're finally getting that thing done. So
Be kind of like a little walk through. The plan is to have some like.
Are you doing asking money
sure.
contributions
We're
or
always
anything for it? Okay.
We got the building through one of our Poet Biorefining is here in town. This is huge. They helped us get the building shell. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now is trying to get it done, and it takes funds to do that, and that's the thing.
Okay,
so,
obviously your fans know all about that.
Yeah,
You let them know that.
Oh,
okay.
absolutely. So,
the plans are eventually, to have like a little walk through, the glass cases
it's
with
air conditioned,
with
with
some flat screen TV, so you can see some old videos and stuff. There's a lot of old videos out there. So
I actually have one of those. Alan Burdick gave me a video, the 2X.
You'll have to send that to us.
Feature.
Yeah.
I have that.
That's stuff we want copies of.
I don't know how you get it off of the.
Right.
I got it on saved
that's
on
the
a
stuff.
video.
Yeah,
but
that's the stuff.
The main thing is Tim and my dad are doing a good job of, before this stuff disappears forever, we want to get it and let it live on forever. I talked at the beginning of the show about the rich history of this racetrack. A lot of the younger guys don't understand what racing means for this racetrack. People like you who, haven't been back in 10 years, but you come back and all the memories just start flooding back in. It's like people have spent a lot of time down here and a lot of memories, and it means a lot to people.
I always use the word family. I just feel that we're all family here. I feel all the drivers that I know personally, it's a family. I've officiated and get cussed out, but it's never bothered me.
Oh my goodness!
It's never bothered me because it's just a family squabble.
That's called passion, is what that is.
You get over it, and it's like, but that's what we are. And the Hall of Fame night was last week, but what's also neat is you'll get a lot of those people that have been inducted. They come again that night. And that's what's neat. So we'd love to have you come back anytime, or especially a Hall of Fame night.
It's going to happen.
Yep.
Because we get them all together. And
it was really cool last week.
We
saw a lot of Hall of Fame members come back last week. It was cool.
So that's the neat part of it. So
well, you get to smell that stuff again,
Oh, yeah.
and then here goes your blood pressure, and here goes it.
You're
and
gonna
then all of a
feel
sudden
it.
you think you can get in a car again.
Are you going to get in that thing and drive down the front stretch?
I don't know.
You better.
Well, we'll get it out there somehow. I don't know. We'll see what they want to do.
We'll get it out there.
So we'll see what they want to do. But yeah, we got time to do a lot of stuff. So that's what I laugh is when guys, they go away and they come back and they start smelling the racing fuel.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, man.
You just start stepping higher. You start walking quicker again. Yeah, no kidding.
It takes like 30 years off, right?
Oh. Yeah, unfortunately, then your body, lets you know.
Yeah, right.
I've seen a lot of old
usually
pictures.
Your spouse gives you a nudge, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had a lot of those nudges.
I've seen a lot of old pictures and a lot of old videos, and I just wish I could have lived back in the day to see cars like that. I mean, it just seemed like everything was so much easier back then. Just like everything was, you just rung what you brung. I mean,
it was easier. I can tell you, I remember that car. We brought that car. Wayne brought it to the racetrack for $4,000.
Yep.
That was the trailer that was sitting on a little open wheel trailer and a
funny story.
Yellow '69 Chevy pickup.
Yeah, one of these racing part stores. It was the junkyard.
Yeah, and we
you pull it.
Yeah, and we changed motors depending on the track. If it was going to be dry, or we'd had the 454 or the 427, and I don't know.
I know we talked on the phone, and see, I grew up with you guys, and you mentioned Dusty, and I had a driver. We had a driver in my hometown, Cecil McEwen. He had a 36 Chevy Coupe, but that's what I grew up. That was the coupes were so awesome, iconic. You always remember that. That's what I remember most.
Well, and I kind of grew up with them because I went to Playline Speedway when I was young. Okay, that was back in the Bud Burdick and even Bob Kaziski.
I remember being there. So
okay,
yes.
and and then I wound up driving there several years later.
Yeah, that's another one of those iconic places that's long gone.
One thing that's crazy, Ed, things have changed. You talk about bringing a car down to the racetrack for $4,000. I was up at Stewart the other night, just the bare frame for a modified, $42,000 just for a bare frame. I mean, it's just
be kidding.
right.
Are they that high now?
Yes, $40,000 just for a frame.
Oh my goodness!
And just for a Hoosier tire, just for a G60 for like a stock car. $165 just for one tire.
Yeah, so it's crazy, just like everything else.
But again, we have such a good following here at the racetrack. When you said we have 85 cars here weekly, we really appreciate that because times are so tough right now, and we have such a good following here, and that's what keeps this place alive.
and these young guys working, mom and dad hopefully are getting these young guys involved in racing, and I think it's the greatest thing ever. Our group, all the years that I did it, we didn't have much going on. You might have an altercation after the 8th feature, but but you didn't read about them in the paper the next day or hear anything during the week. They were in.
Didn't get on Facebook
They were working on their damn cars.
And this damn thing here.
Yep.
This phone.
You didn't get on Facebook and go through the comments and bash people all the time.
And families, everybody came as a family. I mean, it was just amazing.
Right.
You know.
Well, Ed,
there's the other man right there.
It's cool, really, to finally meet you. I've been up to Quaker Steak and Lube a lot to eat. Really good place to eat. I love the lube tube. I'm a beer drinker, so I love that. Onion rings are really good. So, race fans, if you ever have a chance to get up there, it's a really cool place. There's race cars hanging from the ceiling. They've got all sorts of cool stuff to look. A lot of motorcycle stuff in there as well. A lot of really cool stuff. So make sure you go up there and have yourself something to eat. Ed's son Chris owns that place and runs it, so it's just a really good place to eat.
And they were so great to bring that car from the ceiling.
Oh yeah,
I can't believe it. I didn't know it was happening.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a surprise.
It got leaked out. Well, it got leaked out. I guess I found out.
Yeah.
Well, I
you better go get some pictures by it tonight.
I'm going to.
So we're gonna get Steve on here in a minute.
Yeah, I see Steve there.
So he's just happy to do this, and because it works out great for you guys to be here tonight with the Hall of Fame and the super late model night. So that's the good thing about it. So, but I tell you what, Ed, congratulations. We'll be out there at intermission doing an induction with you there and do that. So
you were on a very. There's a lot of people in this Hall of Fame, man, that are well-known people, and you're just as deserving as any one of them.
All are.
Well, thank you guys.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you.
Ed.
Thanks, Ed.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Tell you what, Lori back studio. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll be right back with you at Pitside Live here in Corning, Iowa, Adams County Speedway. Do 4.
Since 1892, Malvern Bank has been building community from 404 Main Street in Malvern, Iowa. For generations, Malvern Bank has been serving local businesses, families, and farms to help them achieve their goals in every step of their lives. From saving for college to planning for retirement and everything in between, Malvern Bank is your full-service community bank, here to help as you plan for the next chapter of your life. Call, click, or stop in today to apply for an account, loan, or credit card. Malvern Bank, we build community. Member FDIC, equal.
Furniture, appliances, mattress sets, lift chairs, bedding, recliners, and more. S&S Appliance, your hometown furniture store in Clarinda, just received a large shipment of appliances. They have a huge selection of stoves, refrigerators, chest freezers, and microwaves. And if you need a mattress set, they have them, plus bamboo sheet sets. They offer full service from start to finish with competitive price guarantee. S&S Appliance also offers delivery and installation. Stop by S&S Appliance on the square in downtown Clarinda.
Lori, how long we got?
This is Josh with Shore Motor Company in Clarinda. We want to be your GM dealer. We have highly...
Lee does a great job writing things up, you know it? Did Lee do it?
See that sponsors I missed on the...
Welcome back, race fans, to Pitside Live here at Adams County Speedway. We're coming to you tonight on SLMR night, the Karen and Gail Hampel Underdog 22 Modified Race. And we're joined, very happy to tell you we're joined by our next Hall of Fame inductee tonight of 2024, and that is the driver of the 52 car, Steve Kaziski. Welcome, Steve.
Well, thank you.
Oh, we got to turn you back up.
Say it again.
Thank you. Yeah, I can hear it there. Thanks now.
Well, Steve, I grew up watching you race. I grew up watching all your brothers race. And you're one of the guys that I can always remember just growing up watching. And
Mr. Smooth.
In the Busch All-Star Series, then it changed to WDRL kind of when you started getting out of it. And it's just, man, a lot of memories just from when I was a child, and then probably way before I was even born. So
big time, without a doubt, without a doubt.
Racing's a great memory for me, that's for sure. You know, I'm glad it's over. That's at least my part of it's over. We still have racing and other things going on right now, but no, it was awesome time. You know, to remember the day, the opportunity in life to get that chance to race, and then find out where you're at in life, and as you get to travel and run all over the United States and run your local stuff as well. It was awesome. It was a blast.
We'll read your history at the intermission during the induction, but the write-up is so awesome because I've watched you since the beginning. It's just amazing to me to look back at all the series and all the things you've done. That's what's cool to me, because that's local talent that's showing what we have around here that don't get a chance to do that. And you've been a part of a lot of big races and a lot of big series.
Well, I've been fortunate, and I've been fortunate to get guys to choose me to go places, and it was a lot of work along the way too. A lot of people thought you just showed up and I got to drive a car. Well, Charlie Clark's Modified was about the only one I did that with, because when I showed up there, I went to work on the car and they say, I got it. The ARCA car, I had a lot of guys that helped out, and I always say, they said if there was one thing you wish you had, and that was to win an ARCA race. We were close. We run up there seconds, and second in the Indy, second in the I-80 at a 200 lapper, and set the track record of Springfield before it got broke again. And Schrader was my haunter. I always share that because his car, or he was in the car when I was always finishing second, third, wherever we were at. But no, the late model deal, we got the opportunity to travel all over the United States, win many different states, and live a dream of different stuff, to look back at time now and say, wow, it was a lot of fun.
I did that, and then I told the story a couple of weeks ago with some guys. I don't know where we were at, but I don't know if we were interviewing you or talking to you, but the first time you drove a Modified, you said something about, well, the big difference is it seems like I have a lot of time to think going down the front stretch.
Yeah.
A lot more time to think going down the front stretch.
It was different in the handling, the speeds, and I think the first time I drove a Modified was here. I drove Charlie Clark's.
Kind of the same speed, but on a smaller tire, too. Wasn't
Correct.
Kind of
you didn't have the horsepower that lunged you. You didn't have the traction to pick up, so you had to work the throttle a lot more to control it. And it gave you more time to do things. Everything was a little slower than the late model was, but it was still a handful because the car at that time was very difficult to control.
Yeah. It may have been a pit interview that night, because that's what that stuck out. I just thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
That's like, it seems like I have more time to think about stuff going down the front stretch. So, this is a big old half-mile track too. So,
hasn't changed. I'll tell you that.
It's
the same dirt to what you raced on, Steve. I can tell you that.
Yeah, still sticks to everything.
yeah, you're
For
right.
sure.
And we always, officials, had to wear white. That's what I never could figure out. So
yeah, that was
my wife loved me.
It was
time
white
of racing.
It was white pants back then too.
Yeah, we wore white pants
in the pits. All the crew guys did too. Yes, that's for sure.
You guys thought you looked cool back then with white pants at a dirt racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And then NASCAR goes to white shirts too. I don't know what the heck.
Well, you kind of transitioned now, Steve. You ran a racetrack for a lot of years. You guys were so successful at it. I drove by it a couple weeks ago, and it just brings back a lot. I'm getting to that age now where it's like, man, it's kind of like Sunset. I was a little kid when Sunset went away, and then I-80 now, and it's like, it's just a lot of memories that bring it back. It's something that this place is the same thing. You just come here and everything just starts coming back to you. But, you now, your son races and all that kind of stuff. You're kind of now transitioned into the wrench guy and all that kind of stuff. So, are you having more fun helping your son, or were you having more fun when you were racing?
Well, you had a lot of fun when you were racing because that's what you were focused on doing, and that's what went on. I help my son a little bit, not enough. And he doesn't race a lot either because, our travel distance and what he wants to do and how his lifestyle is. He's got a family started and everything as well.
Yep. It's hard.
My son Rob raced some as well. And
everything's so cheap now, too.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. People can think what they want, but finances was always a big difference in what went on. We were always building and spending money, and everybody says, oh, you have this. Well, you don't understand it, but there's no sense going into it because you're always putting back to try to keep the next thing going and building.
Yep.
The racetrack deal, no, I'm glad. For me, I'm glad it's gone. It was a full-time job along with multiple businesses and things we were doing, plus the other race series. And that was a relief. And I look at my racing, I say I feel accomplished because when I quit racing, we were still on top of our era. We had some flaws along the way. I mean, years we didn't win. One year we didn't win a race. So you find those challenges and you go through things. And that was really a good time to quit because, yes, we were on top. The crew, Wayne said, I'm done. Some of the other guys said it was time. And I started focusing more on our auto recycling business.
Right.
Racetrack got handed to us. We built it for an investment, thought it was going to be something. Racetrack's a lot of work.
Yeah.
People need to come down and help out and find out what the reality is.
I've been here 39 years on that side.
All these people that get on Facebook that say super nice things about the racetrack, it's like, come on down and try it out because it is a lot of work.
I did it differently. I met him in the parking lot and said, leave because you don't have a clue out here. Right. So, and I did that. My brother and niece told me I probably shouldn't, but I did because,
you seem to be a little bit more bullheaded than Joe is.
I can't imagine that. People said that before, too.
Joe's Mr. Nice Guy, right?
He really is.
Is it like good cop, bad cop type of thing?
Until I get too much fire under him, then he realizes what it is. But, Joe gets run over a little bit too much, and I'm sorry. I know what he's went through, and he still lives for these racers beyond anybody can imagine.
Well, this race series is still going because of you guys. I mean,
well, Joe, mainly Joe. I mean, for Steve, I would be done because Joe shared with the guys. Something happened to him. I'm not running the series. I'm not living my life for this anymore to do it. Yep. We've accomplished the stuff. I look at our racetrack. Yeah, we didn't own it for as long as the racetracks are here. Yep. But I figured we'd stop where we're on top. Our series, our race events, some of the stuff was about as good as going to get. And the timing was right for the land and dirt because I look at the health, the time, the age, and, of all the family that was contributing, everyone that was going through things. Like I say, my good friend Mike, we lost him last year, and he was a main guy that helped me on the track quite often. Yes, we tried to find guys to replace as things were going on, but
it's hard to find help.
No, and people don't realize the commitment, and it's not the hours everybody wants to. No. They want to work 8 to 5. That's not how it works.
We just told Ed, I said, I look at this place. I grew up here. This was the covered grandstands where we were at, and I've been on the board for 35 years, but I've been working here for 40, but this was all done with volunteers and that family right there, and it could never be done again like we did it.
No, not at all.
It's just thing.
The way
it's all passion with
the way finances are. No way.
And I get on him all the time now. It's like, okay, it's time for your generation to take over.
Yeah, Dre and I are, trying to keep this going.
So that's the thing.
Well, I'm glad you guys are working hard at that because we all need this type of stuff to happen. A lot of people don't understand it, and we got educated on it. In the state of Nebraska, how many tracks do you think are independently owned? Yep. There was only 5. All the rest are fairgrounds, and we were one of the 5. Yep. In the state of Iowa, which was known as the racingest state in the United States, how many tracks do you think are independent? Do you know that number?
I don't.
It's probably 4. Not very many.
Is it 4?
4 when we start going through. So when you look at the money putting back into, you need the community to make the grandstands better. You need the community to do the stuff to help build it because that's the end of our racing because we're not building more racetracks.
Yep. Joe said it when you guys – we lost, who did we lose? I can't remember anyway, but I talked to him one day at the shop, and he said, it hurts all of us when we lose a racetrack.
Correct.
And it really does.
Doesn't matter what racetrack it. Well, Gordy Gundigger just posted a really good post on Facebook. I don't know, you might want to go read it, but he talks about how, keep these local racetracks alive because this is why NASCAR is where it is right now, is because this is where all these guys come from, is tracks like this. We don't have them.
And we shut down for Iowa Speedway, and we had 80 people go there. And there was all kinds of people. We saw our shirt. Hey,
I've never seen so many dirt track shirts.
But, that's what you need to work together, and that's great you work together because racing, we're so used to it. Back in our day, we could race every day all the time.
Yep.
Well, it's like Lucas Oil and or World of Outlaw. They put on a schedule for their group.
Yep.
And then their guys want to try to keep up, and then they get burnt out, motors blowed out, tires wore out. They can't keep a tire guy around because they have to groove all these tires and work all this stuff. You can't get the staff and the people anymore to make it all happen.
The heyday, my fun days, was the Central region. It was like culling. It was like if they rained out and over east, it's like I sit up there and go, okay, who's coming? Or who's coming tonight? Raleigh Frank. All those guys from over east are coming. And then I remember, I heard one time Joe flew back or whatever, but it was like you had to get as many races in as you could. But that was awesome. That was so fun. But
we did the flybacks. We ran ARCA car. We ran
everything was so much easier back then. It seemed like
correct. You didn't have as many things going on. I know the social media deal is a good thing. It's
also a bad thing.
Yeah, thank you. And it's got its challenges.
Dre and I do. Dre does the Facebook side of it, and social media. Man, there is so many keyboard warriors out there, and it's just like a cancer. Yeah. And then once you have that one person that does it, it's like it just like snowballs, and it's just like you don't want that kind of stuff.
Everybody,
all the experts.
Everybody has an opinion without having a clue.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's the problem. You get them on.
It's always the people that have no idea
Yeah.
how to run a business.
And they can't talk to me on social media because they won't talk bad. Because I'm not on it. Because I really don't care about their opinion.
Good idea.
So, it doesn't go that way.
That's why they'll say stuff. I said, just learn to ignore it.
Yeah, I do.
I do got to ask you, Steve, before we get you off here. I know numbers are big with the Kaziski family, 53, 52. Where did the 52 come from? Where did that number come from?
Well, actually, Joe had it on his car the first couple years when Dad was racing the 53
I've got
car.
pictures of that car.
So Joe had the 52. So when then Dad started driving the 2X car for Wayne in 1976. He drove this car right at the end about 5 or 6 times. He won a couple nights with it. Right after Ed had spent his whole years of going through the stuff. Well, then Dad started driving there, and Joe switched over to 53 right away. My uncle, we have pictures of my uncle's car in the 50s with 35 on it. Ed took over the 35, but it was kind of the reverse of the 53.
Because Cale races the 35 now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad was racing the 53 car for Ernie Matz as well, and we seen a 46 number, but we found out that was 46th Street, where Mom and Dad live at.
Okay.
So that's why it was a 32 Ford Coupe that's set behind the garage. I've had a lot of fun with these cars to restore, and the Thunderbird I restored, because you never heard about history at the time.
Yep.
And then I got to start my uncles. I got family talking. And Dad will sit with him just again the other day. We're restoring a 32 Ford Coupe, like what he raced in 66 to 68. And he'll sit there and all of a sudden he'll start going on about, I raced this car. I raced a Dodge, Plymouth, a Ford. He raced all brands of cars and drove for many people, not counting how much he drove for himself.
It's so cool seeing this car down here, man. That is like one of the coolest things, bringing old race cars like that. That had to have been cool, man, driving that thing.
If you see Tim Cooney floating around here about 2 foot off the ground, you'll know he's the one that helped save that car because it was on its way to the scrap yard.
Was.
And then when he called up and said, Steve, I think, I heard you might be wanting a car, a Chevelle. He says, you might. Well, I was really wanting a Chevelle to restore like my dad. And then when I seen this car, I said, there's no way I can restore this. This car has too much great history. If you knew how much it won and all the things it had done up there, there's still a sign. It'll sit in Quaker Steak and Lube. Now again on the hoist, there's a sign there in front that tells you about how the history of a lot of it was on the car. And it has, like I say, it was a great report. It was actually 3 different frames Wayne built out of it, and Wayne got to share a lot of stories. Cool. And that's actually the championship trophy right from here.
Yeah,
that's there with the car.
That's cool.
We have the Harlan championship trophy, but the head broke off and the dang thing moving it, so I didn't bring it out. Sorry about that, Shelby County, but that's all I can say.
No, it's great.
You try to work with all the racers and all the guys the best you can.
Absolutely.
And it's so cool, to see stuff like that and keep it alive and all that stuff. Race fans, if you have a chance to come in, make sure you stop down and see this race car. Take some pictures with it. Because there's not a lot of pieces like that left.
No, I have pictures in there for some of the history, time and era. Wayne and Todd have gotten a lot of stuff there, and I've tried to grab as much information as I can because it's hard to find all that.
Yeah, and when you started restoring that piece and everything like that, man, it was probably like, man, I got to make sure this thing looks good.
Well, we spent a lot of time at the beginning on it. The interior, everything's original. The windshield screen, the dash pad, it's all original from 1971 when Wayne started building the car. We had a lot of the body parts are all new on it because, of course, the body was rusted glow. And I have the original starting pictures in there. Right. When Harold Thomas was the last one to run it, Steve Kennan that owned it, and after that I don't know where it went to. But no, I actually raced against this car, and when I won my hobby stock championship in '78, my first year racing, that car finished second. But the car I had was a car built after this from Wayne. So Wayne had car 1 and 2 in the championship.
Tim always talked about having the car because we talk about, his dad's got an old coupe up there too, but because we talk about Larry Fudge. That car's sitting right there. One of his cars sitting right down here at the body shop down at Frank's. Frank. So, but I said we got to get that car restored because that's another icon with the cross eyes on the back. This blue 6 car that was always an icon here too. So
it takes a lot, and I finally paid to have the rest of it done because time was getting away and I had too many things going on racetrack.
Know what you mean?
So I don't ask me a price because my wife could be listening, so I can't share all that. But that's Well, it became a bigger number than I imagined.
It's a family deal.
You
though.
bet.
I mean,
it's family racing.
Your dad drove it, so
you guys have an auto parts store. You should have been able to take care of it.
I wish that was true.
All that you guys have all that old stuff, don't you?
Yeah, right. Getting the quick change was a battle. I actually went to Tim found that at the swap meet. Then I had to get the hubs in that from Franklin down in Tampa, Florida. I went to get that part. You know, there was parts and pieces you changed around a lot to get things. It's amazing.
It makes you think that these guys on TV that restore all these race cars, it's like it takes a lot longer than what you think it does on TV to restore these cars. Because these parts are getting harder and harder to find because you can't find them.
A lot of it's complete. So a lot of it's all their original, and it's really an innovative car at its time. So.
It's a piece of art. Is what it is.
I very much appreciate you guys getting that niner, Chris. You guys getting that niner. That's awesome. I know it surprised Ed. That was awesome.
Ed was smiling from ear to ear.
So, you know, at intermission, folks, I'll help you get that out there. We'll get out there for the.
We'll do it before intermission. Let me know when the last race is, so we have time to take a little time to turn it.
He says for some reason like turn left.
It won't turn left. It will go right. You got to turn right. Remember the Mater and Doc Hudson. You always got to turn right. So
turn right to go left. All right,
Steve. Congratulations. Thank you very much for coming down and being part of this. So. You know, and I know we got your dad and Joe and yourself, and I guarantee Ed will be here before you know it too on this deal. I guarantee you that. I see the voting how it goes every year.
Ed's
deserving.
I see the
Ed's
ones
won so many races.
Well, that's probably going to a year. You know, it's going to happen. So I tell people that. I said, just wait. It always happens. So, So thanks for being a part of it. Hope to get back down when we get our doggone Hall of Fame building done. We're going to get that done. You know, Tim and I are working on that too. So
we need some more support from that community to make this racetrack grow because it's not a single man's deal.
Absolutely correct. So, we are nonprofit. Everything we've always made goes right back into this place.
Awesome.
So that's what we always tell everybody. So you know, it's your track, folks. That's what we always tell.
That's right.
So. Steve, congratulations. Thank you very much. I'll be in touch with you here shortly, and we'll get this thing set up.
Good to see you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Take care.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
All right, folks. That was Steve Kaziski, 2024 inductee this year. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll be right back here with another special guest here at Pitside Live. Want to do 4 again? All right.
Okay.
You guys do real quick? Oh, hell, I didn't even think about that. He needs a shirt, too.
Okay, I'll grab you one. They're back in my car, so I'll get one. Yeah, I'll get it here in a little bit. Yep.
John's still out at Goldsmith's looking at something, so he probably won't be here. It'll probably be bad.
Too busy at work to wait in a long line at Subway? Order online at order.subway.com. Simply register with your email and password and order away. You can also download the Subway app on your smartphone. Order up to 6 subs, salads, or pizza. Ready in 15 minutes once order is submitted. Also add chips, cookies, and drinks easily. And Subway's back to normal hours Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Order online at Subway in Red Oak, Clarinda, Shenandoah, Best Finish Auto Sales and Service is proud of the quality used vehicles they sell and their dedication to serve the needs of their customers. Whether it's your first purchase or one of many that you've had, you can count on their dedicated sales staff to make the best buying experience possible. They also offer financing on your vehicle purchase. Best Finish can also take care of your service needs, from oil change, brakes, alignment, air conditioning, to any body shop and repair needs. Stop by Best Finish Auto Sales and Service at 209 Sharp Street in Glenwood for all of your vehicle needs.
Welcome back, race fans, to Pitside Live here at Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa. We're going to shift gears a little bit. We talked to a couple Hall of Fame members. Now we're talking to some people that the memorial race is about tonight. We're going to talk to Dre first, then we're going to get Greg on. Dre, welcome back to the show. You've been on the show quite a bit, talking about you're on the fair board now and you're kind of full bore with this stuff. And I talked earlier about how you're wanting this thing to just be like the event.
Yeah.
You want it to be, and I said that this race is honestly more deserving than the tradition, I feel, to be a bigger event because it means so much more because of the people that we're honoring. If it wasn't for your grandparents, this place wouldn't be here.
Yeah. Of course I'm biased, but yeah, I'll agree with you.
And it's truth. I mean, these memorial races, like Stewart's got the Ron Little. I mean, Shelby County has the Rollins Zeitner now. I mean, it's something where every racetrack now seems to have one or two memorial races, but this one just kind of seems a little bit different because of kind of the circumstance of what it is. It's not just like a racer who died or maybe like a fan who died.
Yep.
This is people who built this place from the ground up, literally. I mean, is it not?
They put 26 years of blood, sweat, and tears and everything they had into it, and look what it is today.
I mean, if you don't know who the Hampel family is and you're watching racing down here, you obviously are living under a rock
or you're new.
Yes,
we'll give them that benefit.
Exactly. So, but talk about your race for a little bit here. So you started this. This is the third running of it.
Yep.
The Underdog 22. Started out as kind of a low end, just extra money thing, but now you're really ramping it up.
Yeah. Courtesy of some great sponsors too this year, we really jumped the purse up. It's 2022 to win. Sticking with the theme of the twos because that was my number when I raced.
Yep.
And then also John's number when he raced, obviously. But yeah, just really trying to do something to give back to my customers because my business is so racer made. I'd be naive to think that.
You wouldn't be anywhere without the race car driver.
For sure. So it's just a way for me to give back and just say thank you. I mean, thank you doesn't even scratch the surface sometimes for how blessed I've been. I mean, I got 109 cars on my roster this year. And then B, it's just a way that I can help build up and add to this event. And I strive to call it an event. We're not building a race. An event is something when it comes out on the calendar, you circle it and say, I want to be there because they do special things. It's a great race. They treat the racers great. And it's just something everybody wants to be at, hopefully. So,
I mean, Cole, you said it all week. We got a race.
Yeah, I mean, I was so excited for this. I mean, you've done a great job putting this together. I mean, there's not very many races you can go to as a modified driver and run for $2,022 and not have to pay a dime to
sign. Not an IMCA driver. There's not.
I mean, this is it's just an awesome event. He's not kidding. All week I was like, man, we got to do whatever it will.
He's been messaging me, dude. We got to do whatever it takes.
Hunter Poston was like, I will park at the pool if I have to if we can get this in. So
Cole's just down here with the leaf blower just blowing out all the puddles.
We
got a race, guys.
That's what I told you. I was like, if there's still standing water after I get off work, I'm going to bring a shovel and I'm going to start putting
race
water
fans,
in the ground.
You're going to have an excitement tonight because Dre and I and my dad and Haley went down and got some fireworks too for the Patriots bunker. So we got some fireworks coming too, thanks to the Patriots bunker. So that's going to be pretty cool too. So
we'll have fireworks on and off the track.
Yep.
So with you, let's hope that goes off without a hitch. Never know with you. Could see you down there running away from the fireworks.
Well, they're going to be shot on the backstretch. So
oh, okay.
We can't. Our insurance won't allow them to shoot them up here. There's no way. Our insurance will throw a fit. It's too close to the fans. We're not an IMCA track, sorry. But Dre, with your business has started from the ground up, and you're moving up. And race fans, you look around this place and you see signs, you see all this new stuff, and that's compliments of Dre and kind of what he's made. He's built this logo that he made. Just a lot of things that it's very beneficial to have a sign guy on the fair board.
Yes.
Because he's down here about every week, he's always looking at stuff. He's like, man, that thing looks horrible. I got to replace that, and I got to replace that. We got to replace the purple Bud Light up here. That's got to be.
Yeah, I don't think they make great Bud Light.
No. So
it's so sun faded that
there's a lot of stuff around here that needs updated because obviously, everything's going to need to be repainted at some point. Hey, maybe, steel bleachers in the future, who knows? But, it's something where, you're one of these guys, us three are standing here. We're the ones that are going to have to take over eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, our parents aren't going to be around forever. And, if we want to keep this thing going, it's our generation that has to step up and do it. And, Logan's the same way. Logan is there too. And I feel like we as a group are really starting to recognize that. And we work good together. We're always trying to communicate and trying to think about what can we do here, what can we do to make the event better, all that kind of stuff. So I hope it's a good night for everybody. I hope the launch pad's not as bad as it has been tonight.
It looks better.
Well, I think the rain kind of helped it, and just letting it sit
Yeah.
I think is what it needs. But it sounds like you got some sponsors that you need to thank.
Yeah. So Shore Motor Company threw in $1,500, 500 of the late models, 500 of the modified, and 500 of the stock car. Noonan Industries threw in a couple gift certificates for their products. That's awesome products that they've got out there. Iowa Recovery Services with a $50 Hard Luck Award and $50 for the longest tow. 31 Tire Works with contingencies for every class out there, which is awesome to see Nick step up and do that.
Nick does a lot of good work around here. So.
And then Boyd's Appliance Center over in Creston, and Danewood's Auto and Repair here in Corning.
Boyd's Appliance, who's that?
Yeah, we don't know that guy. Yeah.
They stepped
he drives
up
a mini mod.
Yeah, they stepped up and threw some money to sport mods. So, it's just really happy to see what it's been built to. And this is only year 3. We got a long way to go. And
absolutely, it's going to be. I hope that we can keep it going, and kind of like the Kaziskis were, man. When Silver All National started, it was just another race on the schedule for Lucas.
It was basically an MLRA show the first year.
It turned into a crown jewel. And events like this only start by doing things that we're doing,
Well, and
that's how it starts.
Something really good, too, is the timing of it. I mean, there's no really other big races going on.
Right.
And that's kind of the problem that the tradition faces. There's just so much stuff
We've had to move it around so much. And Dre, I know that's one of your goals is you want to find a weekend for this that is nobody else is racing.
Yeah.
This is our weekend. That's what you want.
Yeah, and it's hard because there are so many big shows around. I mean, it seems like someone's got something every weekend, and then you got all these tours popping up like Midwest Madness Tour. You got the Dakota Tour that can take guys like a Tim Ward or a Todd Shute, guys like that. So it's just finding that little weekend that is going to be our sweet spot where it's incredible and it just explodes from there. Just really glad we're able to build this event and honor Grandma and Grandpa and just
exactly.
I can do what I can to help.
Gail's probably watching down right now. Oh, better get some water in that corner.
That or he's going. Well, him being tight, he'd go, God, that kid's spending too much money down there.
Well, that and he probably sees that new water truck running around here. He's like, what do them kids need that for?
Yeah. Well, they were towing it earlier.
Why?
I don't know, but they got it fixed. It's up and running again, but they had to tow it off the track there for a minute.
Oh, God.
Maybe we ran out of gas. That might have
probably.
Hopefully that's all it was. But
honestly, with Logan running it, it probably was. So, but
hey,
we're gonna get.
I tell you what. Before you go, I was looking at that 1995 program, and I look at this new logo.
Yep.
I noticed how similar. Did you take inspiration from that old logo, or is that just a coincidence that they have some similarities?
Tell a story how you made this.
That's actually just a coincidence, really.
So the story how you made this is kind of cool.
I know, it's so similar.
That's actually really cool. I didn't know that.
Great minds.
But how did you make
better.
this? So you literally just traced it off of Google Maps, right?
Yeah. So I went out and I knew I had to nail it the first shot because if I did it wrong, I was going to sit there and pick at it and, not like it. But yeah, then I pulled in the Google Maps and traced out the track and found about 5 logos I liked and combined them all.
Gotcha.
And
Awesome.
New logo was born. So
well, we got to get Dre to a pit meeting. So
he's got some
you want to come on in
to
here
do.
and talk really quick? We're just going to stay live here and. Dre, we thank you, and let's have a good night tonight, huh?
Of course.
All right, that was Dre Hampel with Underdog Design 22. We're gonna put his dad Greg on really quick on the show here, but we are at the top of the hour, race fans. You are listening to KCSI 95.3 out of Red Oak, KOAK 1080 AM out of Villisca. A little station identification for you. We're gonna get the generation prior on the.
Oh, thanks. Not the old guy, huh? I said, yeah. Everybody says Mr. Hampel. Mr. Hampel's this guy on the shirt. He's why we're here.
Well, Greg, I was talking to Dre about it. It's something where you guys kind of thought this up. You and your brother and your sister kind of thought this up. It's like, well, we need to do something for mom and dad, and we need to, do something to honor them and things like that. And it's kind of turned into, it's gotten kind of bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah. Well, that's always the goal of everything like that. Like Dre just told me, he said, we don't want a race, we want an event.
Right.
Want something that everybody puts on their calendar and says, you know what, we're going to that one. And there's a lot of people, and I, say it the right way, but, with I-80 closing, there's not as many late model shows around here.
No.
Anybody who wants to see a late model show that's within 2 hours here is here because we're there at, Norfolk when they had it. I saw their place was packed last year, so they just go there.
That's right.
Because they want to see the late models run.
And it's something where your family is just like the Kaziski family in a fact that they've done so much for racing and keeping things alive. And I talked about, with Dre, your parents. I mean, this place wouldn't be what it is without your parents. I mean, a lot of time was spent down here. You and John spent a lot of time down here, and you're still down here to this day.
Still down here. Somebody, apparently, because the chair was comfortable up in the tower on the first night, I went in and I told your dad, I said, this is not right. I said, I was just bored, so I was sitting in the VIP tower because nobody was there. Well, those chairs that they put in there are so uncomfortable.
They're awful.
They're terrible.
They're,
so I was like,
so bad.
Hey, I see this nice comfy chair over on the other side of the window. I'll just go sit over there. Well, then they started asking me questions, and I'm like, I guess they want some opinions here. Anyway, so apparently I've been stuck up there, but they got air conditioning, so hey, I'm good that way. So I'm okay up there.
Yeah, so race fans, Greg Hampel is back up in the tower.
No, I'm not officially.
He's just helping.
I wear this shirt, so if somebody anybody wants to yell, it's these shirts here to yell at.
Well,
okay. Not this shirt.
We just
don't want to be the new Larry.
Don't yell at
us. so Greg, it's something where the event's gotten bigger and bigger every year. One cool thing you guys do is pay all the entry fees for all late model guys.
Yeah. Well, this year we just did the pit passes. We didn't do the entries.
Gotcha.
But,
anyway. but that means a lot to the racers because every little bit helps.
Well, it's something that we thought about when we first did it. We said, well, can we give something? We want a bonus to the winner. We want whatever. But no, Dad always said the guy that comes here and loses spent as much money on fuel getting here as the other guys.
Right.
So whether they either had lack of equipment, lack of talent, lack of whatever, or just learning whatever, or just had bad luck, they spent the same to get here as everybody else.
Thanks for coming. Right.
Thanks for coming. Here's something. So that's why we decided to put it down to everybody.
That's one thing that the Hampel family is really good at, and Dre and I kind of really do really well when we're trying to figure out purses and things like that. Is everybody always talks about, it's $50,000 to win. Oh man, but you look at all that money down through the field. It's like, man, if you don't win, why did I come?
Yeah.
It's like we call it the Cinderella purse. I mean, it's like everything up at the top is great, but it's like you guys do a really good job, and I feel like we do a good job at the track of doing that.
That's different. My generation called it the Dolly Parton purse.
There you go.
You can associate. You can remember that. You know how that works.
Yep. But we don't do that here at the track, and we would rather race for maybe $3,000-$4,000 and spread it out throughout the field than just push everything up to the top and make it look like we're running for all this money. But at the end of the day, you're really not.
Well, and that's the other thing that Dad was prided himself on is because he did the body work on our race cars. He hated to see a racetrack be the cause of tearing your door off or something because track was bad. You bounced into a rut and ripped something, or you bounced up and somebody else hit you.
Yep.
So that's kind of the thing about the track prep that's always been good, and that's something that even if you aren't paying as much to win or to finish or to lose or whatever, if you can leave here with your equipment intact, that means a lot too. So you don't have to go home and fix a bunch of bent stuff.
He'd probably love those plastic quarters you can run now.
Gail would have, Now he probably would have been like, we got to stick with the metal.
Yeah.
Now I was telling Dre, I said Gail's probably looking down on us right now, being like, what do them kids need that fancy water truck for?
Yeah, I saw you pulling it over there. What's wrong with that?
I think it ran out of gas.
Oh, it doesn't have a gas. Really?
I don't know.
It probably has a gas gauge. You probably just weren't paying attention.
There you go.
I heard it's running fine now.
Okay, now if you that's it. That's the Gail Hampel Memorial. Our joke with him down there was when the fuel gauge would get low on a truck, he had a stick with him. He'd put the stick in there and say, well, it's got this much left in the bottom of the tank. It's like, why? Why don't you just go fill the dang thing up? So yeah, that's good for tonight to run that thing out of fuel.
Well,
thank you for honoring Dad that way.
I see all these new speaker shirts. It's cool to see Speaker back here. There's a lot of guys back here that you raced against, and all these people. I mean, we got Paul Glendenning back, but it's cool to see our local guys back here racing. But we got fireworks tonight. I don't know. We went and bought fireworks.
Oh, I heard.
Yeah, we went down and picked out some boomers. So they're just they're the Class B. They're not Class A. So
well, I told Dre, I said your problem is if you shoot them and you're not quite timed right. I said you might look like a really bad show here.
It's all right.
Cars are in turn 4 and you shoot fireworks in turn 2.
Look at all our painting over here, man. We're rustic around here anymore. So, but before I let you go, man, I'm sure you have a lot of memories of building this place from the ground up. I'm sure you can remember building all this stuff. And you were one of the guys that was always down here. I mean, my dad was always here. Burton, all those guys were always down here. And And do you think this place could be what it is if you started from the ground up right now? No way, huh?
No, not really.
I mean, it's crazy to see.
The amount of money that it took, and like we said, that's the thing that Dad always did. Charged, whatever it cost for cost of materials from Norfolk Iron. We bought the materials, passed that bill right to Burton. He wrote the check.
Yep.
And then was real good on them on labor and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. How long did it take you guys to build all this?
Well, a section at a time, So I remember this first set here. I don't know, Bun Sheridan, everybody remember him? He's really old.
My dad would probably know.
Your dad would know this story, but they were at a fair board meeting, and this middle set of bleachers was, I think, 10 rows high. Maybe even not even that, because some of the back rows were depreciated.
What year was this, you think?
Oh, probably late 70s, early 80s. And, probably about when John was racing. Yeah, early 80s. But anyway, They had a fair board meeting, and they discussed the need to replace these bleachers. Well, so that was just a discussion. Well, Bun was retired, so he came down the next day, and I'm not sure how he did it, but pretty much I think he took a saw and he just started cutting the bleacher boards because that was the easiest way to get them apart. And pretty much he had the whole set destroyed. People came after work and they're looking, they're like, Bun, what'd you do? And he says, well, didn't we talk about? He said, yeah, we talked about them. But
didn't decide to do it.
And he says, well, it looks like we better build something new now. So Bun Sheridan is the start of this center set of grandstands being built. And you can see they're all just the angle irons, and for the first 10 rows there, and then everything back behind had to be I-beams and bigger stuff and bring in the boom truck to do.
Yep. And I remember the original press box. That thing was a...
Oh, yeah.
Man, there was a hole in it. But below Nancy's shoes, you could see all the way down. I'm like, oh, God, we got to get a new scoreboard.
No, you probably remember the one, the middle of the three, the first one that was here in the early 80s. That one was even worse.
Oh, God.
It had the plywood windows in the front that you just shoved up, and, I mean, they were warped.
Kind of like those on the concession stand.
Yeah, no, those are beautiful.
Well, you probably got some more people to talk to, but we appreciate you getting on the show. We appreciate your family doing this, and I just hope it keeps getting bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah,
so.
we'll keep trying.
Yep, and Dre and I are. Dre's pretty much full force into it now. I got him on the board. I said, Dre, if you're going to get on this fair board, you realize it's going to take a lot of time. He's like, I know. I'm like, well, we're over here all the time, so we're kind of into it now. So, Cole, you got anything else?
No, I'm just ready. I mean, look,
I think the rain helped for the last two nights when the SLMR rained out the last 2 nights, because I've heard that there were some guys that would have been too tired to get over here after 3 nights.
Yep, Fayette County rained out and Cresco rained out. So Dre, I called Dre on Thursday when they rained out. I said, Dre, get on the horn. He's like, what? I said, Fayette County just rained out. He's like, okay, I'm making some phone calls. So,
and that's what I don't know if you heard when we were talking to Dre. I was messaging Evan. I'm like, whatever it takes. I'm like, you guys tell me, I'll go play in the mud, whatever. It must have went a lot better because I didn't get a message. But
Post said, I'll park over at the pool if I have to.
He's like, I'll park at Damewoods or park at the pool if I have to. And I told them, I was like, if we got to pit people outside, I'll buy some caution tape and I'll.
We couldn't ask for a better day though.
No, it worked out good. Yeah, Dre was awful disappointed there about the middle of the week when it was raining all the time. He's like, I'm not really optimistic about this. I said,
it's a lot of work.
We'll find out.
It's a lot of work. So. All right, Greg. Well, we appreciate you. We're going to take one last commercial break. We got one more guest to come back, Lori, and we'll come right back with you here on Pitside Live.
Yeah, Joe's like, this is the only time I've been on time for a pit meeting. Get his ass over here. Hey, did you look?
So let's do.
What if we could harness the power of the sun by using the earth to transform the way we use energy? Water furnace geothermal systems are simply the most efficient way to keep your family comfortable. Winter or summer, day or night, rain or shine, without burning fossil fuels. Giving you the freedom to focus on life.
Call Camblin Mechanical or visit CamblinMechanical.com for your water furnace needs today.
Are you interested in starting a career instead of just getting another job? Well, hop on over to Fresco System USA and let us help you find the one for you. We offer competitive wages, benefits starting day one, and so much more. You can pick up an application at 2026 Fernwood Avenue, find us on Indeed, Better Team, and Facebook, or call 712-623-8100, extension 6659. Spring into action and join the Fresco team today. Are you interested in starting a career instead of just getting another job? Well, hop on over to Fresco System USA and let us help you find the one for you. We offer competitive wages, benefits starting day one, and so much more. You can pick up an application at 2026 Fernwood Avenue, find us on Indeed, Better Team, and Facebook, or call 712-623-8100, extension 6659. Spring into action and join the Fresco team today.
Welcome back, race fans, to Pitside Live here at Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa, and on the YouTube channel. Coming down to the white flag here, last commercial break before we end this thing up. This is like something totally different for us. We had these two guys walk in here, and we're like, who are these guys? What are they doing?
Yeah.
They come in with a drone, and I watched the video, and it's like, you guys are very, very talented at what you do. By the way, this is Motor Droid. They're out of Omaha, right?
Correct.
And you can introduce yourself.
My name is Michael Murphy. I'm here with my friend Jeff Dedlow. We own a video production company, and we also have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So if you go to motordroid.tv,
I'm a subscriber now.
I need to get on there then.
I'll bring you a shirt. I'll bring you a shirt.
I'm a subscriber now. So, you did that video on the prayer that I do. That was super cool. And then the 8-minute video of just the time lapse stuff that you guys did, and then the drone camera. We've been looking for somebody to get a new picture for us for years.
Yep.
And got that done. We're going to post that on our Facebook page because that's kind of our backdrop. But
cool.
I was kind of amazed because I was like, okay, here we go, another one of these guys wanting to come in, take videos. But it's like, you guys know what you're doing.
Yeah. We've owned our own business doing video production for 4 years now.
Yeah, you guys know what you're doing.
I appreciate that.
And this is it's impressive. I mean, I could tell the quality.
Yeah.
And kind of the angles that you guys were doing, and I'm like, these guys really know their stuff, and it sounds like to me that you guys are kind of motorheads.
Correct. Like, I don't actually know that much about motors, but I know I love them, right? And I've always loved cars. It was a connection I had with my father back in the day, and all of my children can now drive. So I'm pretty lonely. So it's like, what do I love to do? How do I spend my free time now that I'm not having a parent all the time? And it was like cars. So we started going to car shows, filming cars, putting them up on YouTube. We're getting thousands and thousands of views, and all these subscribers like, okay, we're on to something. So when you can marry passion with your talent, and then you go to the racetrack for the first time. My first race ever was last weekend, and it was like,
that was kind of a chill weekend too. See,
cool.
this is big tonight.
Right away, I meet Rusty Davis standing in the parking lot, and he wants to tell me everything about the track, and then he introduces me to Jimmy right away.
Yep.
And now we're coming back for the people too.
Mm-hmm.
That's what was so amazing about it.
You mentioned car shows. Then I've probably been around you before. The ice. You ever been to the ice cream cruise? I mean, you guys are from Omaha.
Everybody's telling me I have to do that one.
Okay,
so I haven't been there yet.
So at that I-29, I mean,
September.
I'm sure you know 1320. Yeah, but
Yep.
they will wrap that whole track in cars. It's a crazy event. I'm like, I didn't even know there was this many show cars in the area.
Right.
It's a cool event. But
yeah, we plan on going out to Seward on July 4th. I guess thousands of people bring cars there every year on the 4th of July.
Well, you guys got a really cool deal. So this Chevelle down here, did you guys see that thing?
Yes, we did.
That thing is pulled out of Quicker Steak and Lube in Council Bluffs. It was in the rafters.
Wow.
It was pulled out of the weeds. It was raced back here in the 70s. It's a multi-time track champion car. The guy that we had on here for the radio show, he's going to get inducted into the Hall of Fame, Kaziski family. His dad drove it.
Cool.
And that right there is the epitome of American stock car racing, is that thing.
That's so cool.
That car used to race around this racetrack on this same dirt.
And it won the first point series ever, right?
Yep,
1974?
and it won 12 out of 19 nights in 1 year.
Oh, wow.
So it's so fast. And it's something where racing's changed so much, and you see all this technology now that all these guys have. You look back in these pits right here, I mean, millions and millions of dollars being spent. They're rolling in with hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of toters, and, it's just crazy how much it changed. But I'm glad you're seeing this, and I feel like you guys are kind of getting the itch now a little bit with this dirt track racing.
Yeah, I've been bit. Now, I just got a question for you guys. Where should we go next in Iowa?
Well,
I'll be in Newton on July 12th because I'm filming backstage at the Eric Church concert.
Knoxville.
That's where I'm going to stay because Newton's already booked out.
Knoxville Raceway is the sprint car capital of the world. Now, sprint cars are the fastest dirt cars there is. We're going to have sprint cars here in August, but I would say they're probably pushing 120, 130, 140 going around that place.
Good Lord. Yeah.
And you're just in an open wheel, there's a wing on top of you, and it's just open. Like, guys have died. I mean, it's crazy. But Knoxville, I'll show you a video here in a little bit once we get off the air. But Knoxville's got to be a place.
When those sprint cars drive into the corner, you're going to look at them and you're going to be like, no way they make this corner, and then they'll just like that. It's crazy.
So. And I already felt that way after last weekend, so I can't even imagine what those are going to look like in person.
Knoxville's a great place to go. Right. The other great place to go is during Labor Day weekend. The Boone Super Nationals is huge. Over 1,000 cars show up for that race. That's a good one as well.
They'll race from 2 p.m. till 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, for 8 straight days.
Well, I'm telling you right now, if you're listening, those will be featured on our YouTube channel. All these places you guys are recommending.
Yep.
So and we plan
really
on doing the same thing for.
We really appreciate you guys coming down because I was thinking at first, I was like, okay, we've had people come down in the past, but it's never been anything legitimate.
Yeah.
But you guys are legit. You guys do good work. I mean, it wasn't a very long video, but the 8-minute, it was very quality.
I appreciate that.
You could tell that you guys, put some time into this. All the cuts were super clean and all that kind of stuff. It was really, really well made.
Appreciate
and
that.
I love looking back at that kind of stuff because it gives you a different view of the racetrack.
Yeah.
We're always up in the press box announcing, and we don't get to see the fan interaction very much. We don't get to see kind of what goes down on in the pits.
Yep.
It's just super cool to see all those different angles, man.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I love that prayer you do, man.
Yeah.
Like, the moment I was going through footage and I had forgotten that you did that prayer, and the moment I saw it, I was like, drone footage of a racetrack with a prayer. I mean, it just doesn't get much better than that because, frankly, if it wasn't for the grace of God, none of us are here today.
Exactly.
So.
And one thing I will tell you is this is one of the biggest dirt tracks in the state of Iowa for size-wise.
Yeah.
A lot of the tracks that you go to in the state of Iowa are kind of hole-in-the-wall, kind of, just small racetracks, don't hold very many people. This is a very, very, look at the fans.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
incredible.
This is a very, very large facility. It's something that, it's rich history.
Yep.
This late model racing that's here tonight, man, you've got people racing here. Late model racing is why this racetrack is here.
Yeah.
And when these cars come in here, man, we're going to have probably at least 3,000-4,000 people here.
Now, here's something we didn't get last time. Can I get in the booth with you?
Absolutely.
Yes, we want to get in the booth, and then the other goal for tonight is a sunset shot with the drone looking that way.
We got fireworks tonight, too. So
that's what I heard, and then I want to know if they're going off
We're doing
there.
it during the pace laps.
Yeah.
There's going to be turn 3 off the backstretch and turn 2 off the backstretch, just in the corners.
So no matter which way, so I just need to be facing that way.
Yep.
Cool.
I tell you what, with the drone, I wish our insurance would allow it, but to follow I don't know if you ever watched a racing stream, but there's some companies, I don't know how they get past an insurance to do this.
Yeah.
But they'll let the drone chase the car about 10 feet off.
The drone, I mean, the car's here and the drone will be right here.
Well,
the car will be going 80 mile an hour and the drone's like right there with it.
Yeah, I've got a racing drone and you can just tell it what to follow. So I don't even have, at that point, I just step back and it'll follow it for us. Now, maybe one day I could come out here, we just get one car on the track and we can do some cool stuff like that.
So the guy that drives it, he has a VR headset.
Yep.
That's how he drives it.
Yep.
He's got like the joysticks and stuff.
Exactly.
Well, so you say racing drone. So you guys are from Omaha. Have you guys ever been to the Hobbyplex?
I just went there yesterday.
Okay, so I used to race RC cars
semi-professionally.
I'm getting
into that.
Yeah.
Now I got to connect on that.
Yeah, there you go.
Cole was an RC guy.
I used to race for TLR and I'd travel the country. The last time I raced, I was out in San Diego. Then I kind of lost interest in it.
Yeah.
But the real car stuff kind of took over that.
Well, we've got a studio in Millard, which is in Omaha, and he's got a tattoo shop in there. And then I got like a big section for shooting video, so we know we could fit our own RC track inside of it. So that's one of our next steps. We're going to be introducing that content to the channel too, because if it's got a motor, man, it's going to show up on Motor Droid. And really, that's where the name came up with. Is like all these cameras are basically robots doing the work for it.
Right.
Like I just pointed out with that drone.
YouTube is so big nowadays. Yeah. I mean, we have our own podcast now too, but it's like, you see so many content creators and streamers and stuff, and just getting the reason why we love having you guys here now is because you're just another avenue for to get people to see,
Yeah.
you know, what the place is about.
Yep.
It's all about angles. It's all about, you know, it's all about footage. It's all, man, that looks cool. I better go check that out. Type of thing.
Exactly.
And
it gives you a feeling for what it's like to see a car. Hopefully,
one of our goals here in the future, hopefully here in the next year or two, is we're going to have a full-time streaming service here too. So
That's
it'll
awesome.
be. We're going to have cameras on both ends. We're going to have speed shot down the front straightaway, looking down the front straightaway. Like one of our goals is that we will be on TV every single weekend. It'll be like a pay-per-view subscription thing.
So cool.
But that's one of our goals. A lot of racetracks already do that.
Yeah.
That's one thing we're kind of behind on.
Yeah.
But
it's really a time and money investment.
Right. I mean, we're always open for, you know, guys like you to come in and guys that are like legitimate, like know what they're doing.
Yeah.
To come in and showcase our racetrack and be able to see, you know, what different angles you are. I'm like, I heard you guys paid a pit pass last week. I'm like, these guys don't need to freaking pay to get in.
We've got to take care of today.
Yeah,
and,
I'm like,
and money well spent though. Like even if I wasn't coming to film, that's a very low price. Go to a college football game for $35.
No. So I told my fans this all the time. I said, guys, I understand you're from Southwest Iowa. I get it. I understand you guys don't travel much. But I said, look at those beer prices right there.
I know.
How many times are you going to buy a $4 tall boy? I mean, seriously. You go to the city. You go to like a Storm Chasers game, you're paying $9, $10 just for a beer.
Correct. It's an $8 bottle of water.
Yeah. we got $4 cheeseburgers. I mean, this is like the cheapest entertainment you can possibly get. And I tell fans this all the time. I'm like, guys, you don't understand what a gem we have here.
I think there's a lot of people. This is kind of what happened with Jeff and I. I'll speak for myself, but I've been getting more and more disconnected from professional football, from professional basketball. Those are always the sports that I follow because I can't relate to anybody that's playing for $50 million a year.
Right.
You know, and I come to this track, and every person that's a spectator, every person that's driving is warm, welcoming,
relatable,
very humble.
Yep.
And I've never felt this type.
It's working class citizens just like us.
Yep.
I mean, I'm a teacher. Cole works at PPI out here. I mean, we're just normal people, and we just come down here during the weekend, and this is what we do.
It's passion that makes this track happen.
Right. We have. I mean, my dad's been here for over 40 years, and we've been trying to take over, and it's just something that times are getting so tough, man.
Yeah.
You know how it is. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but these modifieds that are driving out here tonight that you'll see, a brand new roller just for the bare frame, $40,000.
Good God.
Just for the metal. So it's like you're spending $160 on a tire. You're spending $1,000 on a set of shocks. I mean, it just goes to show the passion that these people have because they ain't making no money.
Well, that's just it too. Is I'd imagine 2-3 years ago it was actually less.
Oh yeah.
Right now everything's so sky high.
Oh man.
Yep.
Well, and that's with the late models too. I mean, some of these guys. There's kind of a different engine options you can do, but the full-on super late models, some of those guys are spending $50,000-$60,000 just for an engine.
Wow!
And they, some of these guys that travel the country, they got to pay. They got to pay for 3 of them,
and then they got to hope it lasts for a few years so they can get a return on that investment. I mean, and that's what I love about it. Humble people, and they're doing it for passion. They're not out here because they're getting a big fancy contract or something stupid like that. So.
They do it for the adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
They do it because it's a literal addiction.
It is.
It's a legal drug. Racing is a legal drug.
Is.
Like
it is.
I'm not kidding you. I have subscriptions to every racing platform there is, and I'll bet you I watch racing every single night because I can't get myself away from it. I love it.
I'm starting to feel that way. So.
And that's like when somebody tries to talk to me about basketball or football. I'm like,
I don't care.
I don't know, man. Like, if the Chiefs are doing good, that's about all I know. I'm like,
it sounds like we got some cars out on the front stretch right now, but we are getting to the end of the show here, race fans, and we're talking with Motor Droid here, and you guys do a really good job. Keep up the good work. You guys have a good thing going. Anytime you guys want to come back down here and do stuff, we are more than happy to have you guys.
And we're going to be happy to be here. I'll get you my phone number.
Absolutely.
Shoot me a text when something extra special is happening too. You know,
we've got cool races come up down the road. We've got this late model series down in October. We run a race called the Pumpkin Dash.
Okay.
It's during Halloween time, and it's their championship race. And when they get done, they take a pumpkin and they smash it on the front straightaway. So that's kind of a cool thing we do. We have a race. You can kind of see our schedule there, but
I was looking at that earlier.
In September, we have a race called the Tradition, and that's kind of a big race too. But we'll let you guys know when that happens.
Awesome.
And yeah, we're more than willing to have you guys, and it's super cool to see a different avenue of our racetracks. So.
Yep, and I want those other racetracks out there to know. Just leave a comment, tell us when and why, and we'll be there.
Yep, absolutely.
Our goal is, Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, and then hopefully next year we're really branching out.
Yep.
We want to go to all the racetracks in the country.
Well, it sounds like right now Knoxville's definitely a place to go for sure.
And that's another facility too. You talk about how big this is.
Yeah.
When you go to Knoxville, you're going to be blown away.
It's 20. Right now, the place holds 21,000.
So but then the other race, the one I'm filming at, is in Newton.
Yes.
And that's bigger than Knoxville or not?
You're going to the IndyCar races.
Yeah, we're filming for
that's
a guy
pavement.
that's opening.
We were just up there.
That track's owned by NASCAR as well. So
we're going to be filming for Tyler Anthony, a great musician out of Gretna. I just want to give him a
You'll
shout
get a
out
kick
real
out of
quick.
that.
He's opening up for Eric Church. And
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we
That'd be
talked
cool.
about how fast sprint cars are. He's going to see Indy cars.
Those guys
that's
are crazy.
As fast as it gets.
Somebody just a minute ago told us those Indy cars, you can't even see the number on them when they go by.
Nope. They're so fast. I mean, at the Indy 500, they're going 230.
In qualifying, they hit 240 down the back straight.
And some bucket list thing too.
Open
I want to see some funny car races too.
Oh,
we
yeah.
know a guy
Drag
that
racing,
used to, so he was telling us 3,000 feet in a second or something like that.
They go from 0 to what is it like? Probably
I think 320.
Probably 320 mile an hour in like four
1,000
seconds.
feet.
Yeah.
So yep. All right, race fans, we're here to the Checkered Flag, and it's 6:30, and that was one of the fastest shows I think I've been part of. That was really cool, and we thank you for coming on.
Thank you guys.
It's super cool to meet you guys, and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are kind of in the right avenue right now. YouTube's huge, and videos are huge right now. That's what the kids want to see.
It is. We just want to bring that perspective of we're new to the game. We're going to be new to RC cars, right? So we'll listen to his advice and then show the progress of that.
Absolutely.
You could do a motor swap on an RC car. I didn't know that.
We'll get you up in the booth tonight. We'll get you some cool shots.
Yes.
So, but race fans, thanks to all our sponsors back at Pitside Live. 116 cars checked into the Adams County Speedway. 28.
Still a line.
28 super late models. It is more than a full field. We are going to have a B feature tonight, race fans, in your late models. So,
wow.
It is going to be a great show tonight, race fans. Super happy to be a part of it. Thanks for joining us on Pitside Live. You can go back and watch the YouTube channel as many times as you want, over and over and over again on YouTube throughout the week.
Yep.
Thanks to Lori back at the studio. Thanks to Aaron and Melanie. We appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. 2 weeks from now, we are not racing next week. 2 weeks from now, we'll see you back here on Pitside Live. Thanks, Lori.